The biggest band on the planet just turned its back on music's biggest award show. No scandal, no feud, no scheduling conflict. Just silence, where an entry form used to be. And when the man in charge of the Grammys tried to explain why that shouldn't matter, he said something that made an entire fan base erupt. This is the story of how one quiet decision from BTS turned into one of the loudest arguments in the music industry right now.
Move that has shocked the music industry.
The most popular music group,
BTS announced they will not be submitting.
They will not be submitting their music.
Will not submit music.
They will not submit their music.
Passes on 2027.
그래미상은
2027 Grammy Awards.
skipping the 2027 Grammy
appears to be in protest
in an apparent protest
After the Recording Academy added a new
New category for Asian pop.
The new category has sparked mixed reactions.
sounds like it could be inclusionary, but it's actually
A racialized barrier for Asian performers.
We are not just an Asian group, we are a global pop sensation.
Every year, thousands of artists submit their work to the Recording Academy, hoping for a nomination at the Grammy Awards. It's a formality most fans never think twice about. This year, BTS didn't do it. All 7 members, one decision, no entry submitted. For a group that has spent over a decade breaking chart records, selling out stadiums on nearly every continent, and building one of the most devoted fan bases in music history, stepping away from the Grammy process wasn't a small move. It was a statement. And within hours, the head of the Recording Academy responded publicly, trying to smooth things over. Instead, he poured gasoline on a fire that had already been burning for years. Chapter 1. A decade of coming close. To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to understand what came before it. BTS has been nominated at the Grammys multiple times. 5 nominations, according to public record. Not one win. Every year, the pattern repeated. A nomination, a red carpet moment, a performance that trended worldwide. And then, the announcement. Someone else's name being called. For years, ARMY, BTS's global fan base, treated it as bad luck. Maybe next year. Maybe the next album. Maybe the next performance would finally be the one that changed the Academy's mind. But patience has a limit. And this year, instead of trying again, BTS simply didn't try at all. Chapter 2. The Quiet Decision. There was no press conference, no dramatic statement, just a confirmation, shared by the members themselves, that they would not be submitting an entry for this year's Grammy Awards. No official reason was given. But timing tells its own story. The announcement came shortly after the Recording Academy revealed a brand new award category, one specifically built for Asian pop artists. On paper, it sounded like recognition, a dedicated space for Asian music on one of the biggest stages in entertainment. But almost immediately, a very different conversation started forming online. Because to a lot of fans, this wasn't a new door opening. It looked like a smaller room being built next to the real one. Chapter 3. One statement, one explosion. Not long after BTS's decision went public, Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. addressed it directly. He said he was saddened to hear BTS wouldn't be participating this year, but as a fellow music creator, he said he understood and respected their choice. Then he went further, trying to clear up what he called a misunderstanding about the new Asian pop category. He described it as a way to celebrate the depth and growth of pop artistry coming out of Asia, insisting the goal was never to divide artists, but to expand who gets recognized. It was meant to calm things down. It did the opposite. Within hours, Korean fans and netizens filled comment sections and forums with a very different interpretation. To many of them, creating a separate category for Asian artists wasn't inclusion, it was a workaround, a way to hand out recognition without ever letting BTS, or any other Asian act, compete for the awards that actually matter. The main categories, the ones broadcast in prime time, the ones that shape an artist's legacy. One recurring question kept surfacing across social media. If this new category truly wasn't about division, why wasn't there a similar category carved out specifically for American or European pop artists? To critics, the silence around that question said everything. Chapter 4. A bigger question than one award show. What's happening here goes beyond a single band skipping a single show. It's forcing a much bigger conversation into the open, one about how major Western award shows have historically treated artists who don't fit neatly into their existing categories. Supporters of the new category argue it genuinely does more good than harm. With more categories, more artists get nominated, more get a moment in the spotlight, and more get their name read out loud on a night that matters. From that point of view, this is progress, even if it's imperfect. But critics push back hard on that idea. They argue that a dedicated category can just as easily become a ceiling instead of a floor, a polite way of saying, you can win here, just not there. A space that looks like recognition, but quietly keeps the biggest stage reserved for someone else. It's important to be clear about what we actually know and what we don't. We know BTS chose not to submit an entry this year. We know the Recording Academy's CEO responded publicly, and we know his statement triggered significant backlash online. What we don't know, because neither BTS nor their label has said so directly, is the exact internal reasoning behind the decision, or whether the timing next to the new category announcement was intentional messaging or simply coincidence. Everything beyond the confirmed facts remains interpretation. Strong interpretation, widely shared interpretation, but interpretation all the same. Chapter 5. What happens from here? So where does this leave things? For now, unresolved. BTS hasn't announced any long-term stance on future Grammy ceremonies. The Recording Academy hasn't announced any changes to the new category. Both sides have said their piece, and the industry is left watching to see what happens next. But this moment may end up mattering far beyond this single-year ceremony. Because if one of the most powerful artists in the world can walk away from the industry's biggest award show and spark this much conversation, it raises a question every major award show will eventually have to answer. Not just about BTS, about every artist who's ever been told their success deserves its own separate category, instead of a seat at the main table. BTS didn't hold a press conference. They didn't release a statement dripping with accusations. They simply chose not to show up to something they've shown up for again and again, year after year, with nothing to show for it but nominations that never turned into wins. Sometimes, the loudest statement an artist can make is silence. So here's the real question worth sitting with. Is a category built specifically for Asian pop artists a genuine step toward recognition? Or is it a way for the industry to look inclusive while keeping the real spotlight exactly where it's always been? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this documentary from Zenk Pop, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss our next story.